Today's kids are now engaged in an equally dangerous pastime, equally as dangerous as the Ouija board, and it's called Charlie Charlie. And I suggest you educate yourselves as my listeners, and because there are serious warnings concerning this seemingly innocent activity, and it's a game that purports to invoke a Mexican demon known as Charlie Charlie and considered to be a simplified version of the Ouija board. It's gone viral on social media among young people, promoting one exorcist to warn of its dangers, and the game, which has gained significant traction online, involves a pair of pencils or pens, a sheet of paper, and the invocation of a spirit named Charlie. And scores of short videos are online, posted mostly by teens, and they show players shrieking and running out of view when the pencils apparently move on their own. It points to a yes or to a no after they say a phrase inviting the demon, Charlie Charlie. Jill Martin Rishi is in studio with me. She's the co-author of the 700-page book, The Kingdom of the Occult, and you can find that at her website, waltermartin.com. Jill, your thoughts on this phenomenon?
Well, I keep thinking about the Ouija board and that quote-unquote game that has been around forever. Why? Because strange things happen with it. It is a point of contact. The Bible tells us that there is a door cracked open from the dark dimension. It is cracked open on our side. And these tools of the occult, like Charlie Charlie, just another version of the Ouija board, what does it do? It makes the connection between what is on the dark side and us. And this is what is so dangerous, is you have these kids that think it's all just a game until the occult invades their life and starts to wreak havoc, cause horrible damage. And Dr. Kurt Koch, actually, who dealt with the occult for 40 plus years, documented over and over and over again what contact with the occult does. It causes severe depression, causes severe anxiety, and many, many things in your life that are dark and, frankly, crippling.
I was addicted to the Ouija board when I was 22 years old. Actually, I got hooked on it because everybody in my Christian college in St. Paul, Minnesota, now that's a few years ago, I was 22, everybody was talking to the Ouija board when I was in my early 20s, and I moved away from this area. I got literally hooked on it. I wasn't sure I was dialoguing with the devil. One day I asked the Ouija board, where do you get your power? It's spelled Satan within seconds.
Oh my goodness.
I placed a little New Testament on the Ouija board, a little very small New Testament on, and that little marker knocked at it until it knocked that New Testament off the Ouija board, and it spun around, and then it swore. It was so mad that I had then I woke up and I realized, I'm dialoguing with the devil. I repented. I threw it away. I was very, very grieved. But again, I got acquainted with it at a Christian college where everybody was playing it back then. So this is a version of that.
Absolutely. It's a way to talk to this other dimension, because the Bible teaches that we live in a multi-dimensional reality, the dimension of heaven, the dimension of earth, and the dimension of hell. And one way to get across this divide is to use these tools. It's a very sad situation, but people are innately curious. And anytime you have this power of the occult luring people, you're going to have those who want to find out more about it. I mean, I was with you too, Jan. I mean, at 15, I was talking to a demon through a Ouija board.
You were?
Oh, yeah. And I went there, though, because my friend had gotten it for her birthday, and they knew I was the daughter of a pastor. And they said, could you come over? Because this board is just talking like crazy to us. And I thought, oh, brother. Of course, I didn't tell my father. He would have killed me.
That's Dr. Walter Martin, folks.
He would have killed me. But I went over there at 15 and had a conversation with this demon. And they are real. This power is real. And he ended up having to submit to a 15-year-old girl. Why? Because I used the name of Jesus Christ, and I commanded him to leave, and he had to leave. He swore at me when he was leaving, but he had to leave. And this, Jen, this is the joy and the power we have in Jesus Christ, that this evil, all of it, in every form, has already been defeated already.
Yes.
So we don't need to fear it, but we do need to fight it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you made that. But God is greater than all of Satan's games, and he will protect and help us to defend those we love against them. And we need to emphasize that God is greater than all of Satan's games. But you have an acquaintance, and we're both from the Minneapolis area. You're in a suburb of Minneapolis, and it's a rather conservative area, yet you have an acquaintance who's actually encountered this Charlie demonic game, and she's a teacher. Tell us the story.
Right. She saw one of the kids in her classrooms playing with these pencil things and having it set up a certain way. And she basically said, "What are you doing?" And he told her, "There's this game, and it actually moves the pencils." And now this is this is a suburb of Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine what's going on in other places too? I mean, it's just incredible. And she looked at him and she said, "Not in my classroom. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to have this, and I'll tell you why. First of all, we don't play games here. And secondly, this game in particular is dangerous." And she told him why. But of course, typically they're not going to listen to you. They're going to do pretty much whatever they want to do. But it just floored me that something like this had made its way already through social media, the power of social media, mm-hmm. to the classroom, at least one classroom here. And that's a point I wanted to make too, Jan, is that nowhere at no time in history has Satan had the information highway that he mm-hmm. has today.
Right.
Now he can get everything out everywhere, all around us. Social media, Instagram, you name it, it's out there. Facebook, people can talk about these things. They can talk them to death, and they can contact other people who are involved with them very quickly. So we're living in a different world, fighting a different battle, and we need to prepare for that battle and defend our faith and our kids.